That's why I asked if you wanted to use these flags or your own. And they said,
So we're having open.
right, right. You just have to do that.
I respect. So that's what we're doing. Normally we'll bring our stuff.
Right.
We're not gonna do it.
Right,
Well,
that's
we can do it.
right. I've been doing this for 25 years, don't I'm just like you guys. I thought you were gonna get even the police department because you were running short.
No, eventually we got the three guys, but we kind of brought it up to them, but they're doing their own thing.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
that's
kind of
fine.
hard
Yeah,
putting it all together.
right, right. I just thought it'd be a little bit easier to get somebody else on the side.
Yeah.
But yeah, and make sure.
Oh, yeah, we got it.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah, we said this.
And I'll let them know that.
Yep, sounds good.
Detail at ease.
Good morning. My name is Mrs. Brown, and I am your Master of Ceremonies today. I'm also an 8th grade math teacher here and a sponsor for National Junior Honor Society. Thank you so much for joining us for our annual Veterans Day Assembly. This is our 25th year presenting this assembly, and we could not be more proud to honor and recognize our veterans of our community. We have a short presentation of all of the RBMS Veterans Day assemblies over the years. Please enjoy. I am proud to say that I have been presenting Master of Ceremonies for at least 13 of those 25 years, and it is a tradition I always look forward to. Welcome to our 2025 Veterans Day Assembly. Again, my name is Mrs. Brown. I'm an 8th grade math teacher and sponsor for National Junior Honor Society here at Borane Middle School. I have the pleasure and honor of being your Master of Ceremonies for the Veterans Day Assembly this year. We would first like to recognize and introduce some very special guests with us here today. We would like to introduce our Douglas Unified School Board members, School Board President Mr. Ray Borane, School Board Member Mr. Mario Ramos, School Board Member Mr. Mitch Lindeman, School Board Member Mrs. Jana Selchow, and School Board Member Mr. Kevin Smith. So proud to announce that we have our Cochise County School Superintendent here with us, Ms. Jackie Clay. Douglas Unified School District Central Administration, Superintendent Mrs. Ana Samaniego. Assistant Superintendent Ms. Denise Cox. And Chief Financial and Operations Manager, Mr. Seth Silva. Up here on stage with me is RBMS Administration Principal Mrs. Borane Madrid. Vice Principal Mrs. Jessica Castillo. Our guest speakers for today, veteran Mr. Francisco A. Owen, 20-year Army veteran, 3 years prior, Operation Iraqi Freedom, American Legion Post 11 member. Thank you so much for your applause, but please hold your applause until I'm finished reading. A veteran, Mr. Felipe Bernal, 6 years Navy veteran, Vietnam War conflict, American Legion Post 11 member. We have our Douglas High School band, directing Mr. Benjamin Moreto. Our 2025-2026 National Junior Honor Society officers, President Germán Romero, please hold your applause, Vice President Isabella Rosario, Secretary Gabriel Fierros, Treasurer Gianni Sierra, and I am the sponsor, Mrs. Brown. Our 2025-2026 Student Council officers, President Octavio Cardona, Vice President Ana Vallejo, Secretary Alexis Hernandez, Treasurer Luis Abachuco, sponsored Mrs. Reese and Ms. Casado. We would now like everyone to please stand to receive Old Gloria flag, which will be posted by the Douglas Fire Department on file.
Honor guard! March! Arm! Carry! Color! Cut that! March! Honor guard! Right! Fight! Honor guard! Reset! Arm!
I would now like to invite Octavio Cardona, the President of Student Council, to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Please remain standing.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I would now like to invite the Douglas High School Band to perform the national anthem. We would like for you to please remain standing as we have a moment of silence for our fallen heroes. Please remain standing as the flag is begins.
Honor guard! Order! Arm! Left, face! Honor guard! Hat set! March! Honor guard! Up!
Thank you, and you may be seated. On behalf of the faculty and staff of RBMS Middle School and our administrators, I would like to welcome everyone to our annual Veterans Day presentation at RBMS Middle School. We will be honoring all of our Douglas veterans, as well as dedicating our presentation this year to the American Legion. I would now like to introduce our first guest speaker, veteran Mr. Francisco A. Owen, representing all veterans through the American Legion.
Good morning, students of Borane Middle School, faculty, distinguished guests, and my fellow veterans. Today, we honor and recognize the largest U.S. wartime veteran service organization. American Legion was chartered by Congress in 1919 with the mission of mutual helpfulness. We are 1.6 million strong with over 12,000 local posts worldwide. The mission and purpose of the American Legion are to support and advocate for veterans, service members, and the families. The four main pillars are Veterans Affairs, and we have national security, Americanism, and children and youth. Some of the programs sponsored by the American Legion are Boys and Girls Club, or Boys and Girls State, which provides civic instruction. It also fosters Be the One suicide prevention. We're also involved in local community service projects, disaster relief, and other events benefiting the local community. When I served the Army, my unit was considered as part of an extended family. Excuse me. Thus, the American Legion also includes in our family auxiliary, which consists of female family members of veterans. Sons of the American Legion consisting of male family members, and Legion Riders consisting of motorcycle enthusiasts, which are also members. In conclusion, the American Legion has been a great advocate for veterans such as myself. Without the organization, we wouldn't have the benefits we do today. Veterans helping veterans and their families.
We will now have the holding of the flag by our National Junior Honor Society, while Germán Romero, the president of NJHS, recites the meaning of each fold.
Detail. Stand up. Right face. Forward march. Detail. Halt. About face.
In the armed forces of our great nation, each morning at reveille, our flag is hoisted aloft to the top of its staff as a symbol of our belief in the resurrection of the body. In the evening, at retreat, it is lowered, and as the shaft has been sounded, it is folded in a triangular fold as a tribute to our nation's honored dead. The first fold of the flag is a symbol of life. The second fold is a symbol of our belief in eternal life. The third fold is made in honor and remembrance of the veteran who gave a portion of his or her life for the defense of our country. The fourth fold represents our weaker nature and our faith in the living God, for it is to him we return in times of peace as well as in times of war. The fifth fold is a tribute to our country. In the words of the immortal Stephen Decatur, our country, may she always be right in dealing with other countries, but right or wrong, she is still our country. The sixth fold is where our hearts lie, for it is with our hearts that we pledge our allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The seventh fold is a tribute to our armed forces, for it is through them that our country and our flag is protected against all enemies, whether they are found within or without the boundaries of our republic. The eightfold is a tribute to those who entered into the valley of the shadow of death, that we might see the light of day. This fold is made in honor of Mother, for whom it flies on Mother's Day. The ninth fold is a tribute to womanhood, for has been through their faith, love, devotion, and loyalty that the character of those great men who helped shape the destiny of this republic were molded. The tenfold is a tribute to Father, for he has given of his sons and daughters for the defense of our nation. We fold from the stripes toward the stars, for whereas the stripes represent the 13 original colonies, they were now embodied in the 50 sovereign states represented by the stars. The 11th fold is for the eyes of Hebrew citizens. This represents the lower portion of the seal of King David and King Solomon, and glorifies their eyes, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. The 12th fold in the eyes of Christian citizens represents an emblem of eternity, glorifies in their eyes God the eternal Father, Son Jesus Christ, and the Holy Ghost. The 13th fold is a reminder to all of us of the sacrifice, suffering, and bloodshed by those of the original 13 colonies who never gave up hope or courage for the day that they would be free from the yoke of tyranny imposed upon them by their mother country. The flag is now completely folded, with the stars uppermost, which reminds us of our national motto, "In God we trust." The flag now takes us on the appearance of a cocked hat, ever reminding us of the soldiers who served under General George Washington, and the sailors and Marines who served under Captain John Paul Jones. They, followed by their comrades and shipmates down through the years, have preserved for us the rights, privileges, and freedoms which we enjoy today. It is the duty and obligation of every American to uphold, defend, and preserve these stars and stripes, Old Glory, our flag.
I would now like to invite veteran Mr. Bernal to come up and receive the flag. Excuse me, Mr. Owen.
Detail. Right face. Forward march. Detail. At ease.
this being our 25th year of this presentation, Mrs. Owen and I felt that it was important to share just a little bit of history about our servicemen and women. Military service by nature is temporary, but the legacy of that service, however, can benefit generations for centuries. Veterans Day can be traced to the armistice which ended World War I. And though that piece of that treaty did not survive the fascist tyrannies of Hitler and Mussolini, the freedom enjoyed by Europeans today is a result of that service and sacrifice made by millions of U.S. veterans. It is the legacy of those who have worn the uniform of the United States, a legacy of freedom. It is the legacy that is spread throughout the globe. Without the sacrifice of veterans, the freedom and democracy we enjoy today couldn't and wouldn't have been achieved. Toughness, commitment, and perseverance is not unusual amongst our veterans. Their exploits and service are legendary. Can any CEO, famous musician, model, or even your favorite sports player truly claim to have a greater responsibility than a service member leading their team into combat? For these young service members, a bad day at work does not mean that you have a bankrupt company, a loss of fans, or losing money. A bad day could mean watching your best friend die, losing a limb, or being immersed in the collateral suffering that is synonymous with war. Even veterans who have not experienced combat share a bond with those who have. They have all experienced and expressed a willingness to die for their country if called upon. They have subjected themselves to a military justice system, which requires strict obedience and professionalism. They have also pledged their loyalty and allegiance to the United States Constitution and the United States of America. It is important to remind veterans that their service matters. Remind them that their well-being matters, especially to us. Most importantly, we offer our friendship, assistance, and support. And you can show your support for these great men and women by simply thanking them for their service. For many veterans, our nation was important enough to endure long separations from their families, miss the births of their children, freeze in sub-zero temperatures, or bake in the wild jungles and deserts, lose limbs, and far too often lose their lives. Military spouses have also endured career interruptions, frequent changes of address, and unfair and unequal sharing of parental responsibilities. Fewer than 10% of Americans can claim the title of veteran. Less than 0.5% of our population currently serves. Veterans have given us freedom, security, and the greatest nation on earth. It is impossible to put a price on that. We must remember them. We must appreciate them. Thank you all for being here. God bless our veterans and their families. And God bless the United States. We will now have a presentation for the Table for One. This year, our Table for One is dedicated to the memory of all POW MIA soldiers. The presentation for the Table for One will be done by our National Junior Honor Society.
Detail. Stand up. Right face. Forward march.
Honor Society member Alyssa Regalado will now recite the meaning of each object for the Table for One.
The table for one. You may have noticed a small table set for one in a place of honor. This table is our way of symbolizing the fact that members of the profession of arms are missing from our midst. They are commonly called prisoners of war or missing in action, POW, MIA. These soldiers are unable to be with us because of their incarceration, so we remember them. The military cast is filled with symbolism. The table, set for one, is small, symbolizing the frailty of one prisoner alone against his oppressors. The tablecloth is white, symbolizing the purity of their intention to respond to the country's call to arms. The single rose is displayed in a vase that reminds us of their families and loved ones who keep the faith, awaiting his return. The yellow ribbon, tied so prominently on the vase, is reminiscent of the yellow ribbon worn upon the lapel and breast of thousands who bear witness to their unyielding determination to demand a proper accounting of our missing. A slice of lemon is to remind us of their bitter fate. The salt is symbolic of the family's tears as they wait. The glass sets inverted. They cannot toast with us tonight. The chair remains empty. They are not here. The candle flame represents our hope for the future. All of you who put your trust in them and called them friend, remember, for surely they have not forgotten you.
I would now like to invite veteran Mr. Borane to come to the stage and receive the POW MIA flag. I would also like to invite our custodian to come and receive the flag from Mr. Borane, for which it will be flown here at Rayburn Middle School for the day.
Detail. Right base. Forward march. Detail. At ease.
I would again like to invite Mr. Bernal to come to the stage to read a short passage about the train arrival of fallen soldiers to Douglas. We will also play a short video of the train arrival and the casting of fallen soldiers here in Douglas.
Good morning. Before, excuse me, before we do the slide, I'd like to share a little story about how it all came about. But before I do, I'd like to take the time to thank these young men and women that presented all of this. I think they did an awesome job, and it's an honor for us as veterans to serve them, to see them do this for us. And I think they need a strong round of applause. Back in World War II, there was a young veteran, local, from Douglas by the name of Rafael Montelongo. He graduated from Douglas High School back in the 40s. When he graduated, he joined the Navy and was stationed in Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. He was an amateur photographer. He was always taking pictures. And he was observed by some higher-ups back then, and they told him that he should continue doing the photography. Well, Mr. Montelongo proceeded to become a photographer. And he was so good at it that he became President Eisenhower's personal photographer. Well, in the service, Mr. Montelongo was on leave and came to Douglas to visit family. Back then, the railroad was, well, back then the railroad, came to Douglas and from the East Coast and all the way to the West Coast. And when people would hear that the train was coming, a lot of people would gather at the train depot, which is now the Douglas Police Department. And people would gather there just to watch, and see all the people that were traveling west. Mr. Montelongo happened to be here when one of our fallen soldiers was brought home. And it will show how our homegrown fallen soldiers were taken to their final resting place. We will see and feel the emotion and reverence shown to our soldiers as they arrived in caskets by train. During World War II, very few people, if any, had phones. So when the train arrived, like I said, most people would go and gather at the train station. The American Legion, the Legionnaires from the American Legion would go there and with their flags and their drums. And they played to announce the arrival of the fallen soldier. citizens would line up at the train station to receive the soldier. And there was a lot that could have been a son, a brother, sister, whoever it was that was coming back home. It was awesome back then because they would take the casket of the soldier and they would, in procession, they would take it down G Avenue and people would follow the carriage that was carrying the fallen soldier. And they would go down G Avenue to 3rd Street and then head east to the cemetery to lay the brother back and to lay him to rest. The slides are going to show some of this. It's going to show when the train arrives, when they walk, how they do it, how they walk the soldier. So I hope you enjoy it and hope it means something to you when you see this, because there's been many, excuse me, many soldiers that have come home. Back then, it was an honor, it was something awesome. When a fallen soldier comes home nowadays, sometimes most people don't even know. So anyway, thank you very much for this, and I hope you enjoy the slideshow. One thing I'd like to mention, I'd like to add, is that I don't know how many people here know that at the Gadsden Hotel, there's an exhibit there. It's dedicated to the Vietnam War veterans. And if you've never been there, I would encourage you to go. There's pictures there of brothers that served during the Vietnam War era. And you're gonna see faces there that you wonder how old they were. Well, most of them were in their teens, and a lot of them never came home. So I encourage you people that have not been there to go see it. It's very emotional, and it's something that is going to stay with you for a long time. Thank you very much.
I would now like to invite the band director, Mr. Loretto, to play taps in honor of our POW and NIA soldiers. Thank you, and good to see you. This now concludes our Veterans Day Assembly. The National Junior Honor Society would especially like to thank the Douglas Fire Department Honor Guard for posting the flag at our assembly. We would also like to thank the Douglas Elks Lodge number 955 for allowing us to use the 8 flags of the United States to decorate our stage. I would now like to invite Principal Mrs. Madrid up for closing remarks.
I would like to give a special thank you to Mr. Benny Deron and Mr. Frank Bama, who unfortunately aren't here today, but for coming week after week since September to practice with our National Junior Honor Society members for this assembly. So it is a honor. On behalf of RBMS, we would like to present this gift of appreciation to the American Legion Post 11. Will veterans, Mr. Francisco Owen and Mr. Felipe Bernal, please come up and accept it on behalf of the American Legion. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your service. I would also like to thank our distinguished guests, our veterans, the families, and everyone else that has come to celebrate and remember our veterans and everyone who served. My father was also a service member of the Army, and he is dearly missed as well. So thank you for all your service. Thank you for all you've done for our country. I would also like to give a small token of appreciation to Mrs. Brown. Year after year, she's been here to support Mrs. Owen in this very special occasion. She works tirelessly with not only the National Junior Honor Society, but with our student council to help to make this a worthwhile and such a very memorable event. Thank you, Ms. Brown. And when I've done, and I've had the pleasure, year after year for the past 5 years, I always save the best for last. Mrs. Owen, can you please come forward? On behalf of the Borane staff and students, we would like to thank Mrs. Owen for dedicating 25 years to organizing and honoring Veterans Day here at Borane Middle School. Your commitment has touched countless lives and made a lasting impact on our school community. We are truly grateful for all that you've done. Thank you, Mrs. Owen. Can you please give her a standing round of applause?
My voice usually carries off, but okay. The very first year, Mr. Alvarado, Mr. Luis Melendez, and Mr. Brian Jordan, we put this as a assembly. Before that, Mrs. Alma Saspe was our reading teacher in that portable. Those first few slideshows that you saw, that's where it started. And then when she retired, I couldn't let it go. So then they put me in the computer lab, I did it in the computer lab. And then one day I felt very brave. And I went and talked to Mr. Raul Torres. And I said, you know what? Can I present this to the 8th grade civics or history or geography classes, all of those classes? And he said, why just them? Let's do it for the whole school. So that's how it all started. And I want to show you the very first flag that they folded in that one assembly. And then later on, like 7 years later, Mr. Alvarado got us a big flag. And he, at the end, he retired from the program. He passed it on to me. And so that's the flag that we've been using all these years. Then I went to a store in Phoenix. It was a flag store. And I was looking for things. And they asked me, how can I help you with? I said, well, I want to set up the 8 flags. They had no idea what I was talking about. They had no idea about these 8 flags. But they said, but you know what? We do have a flag that was donated to us. I'd like to donate it to you. And this is a flag that just this past summer was donated to me. the very first flag from Betsy Ross. Of course, I read it. And the gloves that this gentleman are using, my students, were donated by the DFP. The ties were donated by my daughter. All these things that you see up here have been donated. The boots were my husband's. I would not have been able to do this and get this far without this support from the staff, the students, and my veterans. I have lots of veterans in the family, and this is dedicated to you. I want them to please, all veterans stand. All veterans, please stand. All veterans. This is for you. Louder, louder, louder. Thank you.
Students, I want to thank you for your respectfulness and when attending this assembly. It's greatly appreciated. You did show our pride here at RBMS, so thank you so very much. At this time, I'm going to ask our students that they maybe go to their first period class. Please wait for the bell. When the bell rings, I'm going to ask that you please report to your third period class. You will not have second period today. Sorry. So for first period, please go back, wait till the bell, and then once the bell rings, you'll then report to third period. Thank you so very much. For our distinguished guests, thank you again for coming. It was an honor to have you here at Borane Middle School. Thank you. Have a great day.